Stellar fans, we got some development news as yes, you're seeing some cross-border payment action. I'm going to share the details with you. Now, will this benefit Stellar XLM native token? Well, we're going to look at that along with some stats as the Fear and Greed Index is getting worse by the day, signaling a massive market correction. Let's start it off with your comments. The viewer matters most. And no, I do not live in an echo chamber. I share the bad ones, and I don't even block you. Joe Buddy says, what does history show for the last 2 cycles? XRP is always last. This is typical negative Nancy Klaus BS. Dude just needs to look at the last 2 cycles. He must exercise too much, starving his positive cells of oxygen. Dude, I'm a hyper endurance athlete. Like 90% of my training is all aerobic based. My oxygen absorption and utilization is like insanely superior. Joe, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. Here's another one. I never smash your like button. You chat so much, BS. I'm bored with you. Goodbye. Please let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. We're going to talk about development news with Stellar, and is it going to lead to XLM juicy price action? Bitcoin's hitting at 62,412, ETH 3440, XRP 62.6, XLM 13.4. Meme is roaring. Look at PayPay, up 31% in the last 24 hours. What about Whiff? Dog Whiff Hat, up 37%. Meanwhile, XLM, pretty much sideways last 24. All right, so what's the XLM Stellar news? Well, it's this. It has to do with USDC and Felix. All right, now, this is not replacing SWIFT. This is an alternative. What's the problem? The problem is when you send money from the United States to Mexico, it is expensive and usually takes some time. What's the solution? USDC. Now, where does this come in with Stellar? Well, I'm going to share it with you, and it's actually pretty good. Will it lead to price action? We'll get to that soon because don't worry, we're going to talk fear and greed. But first, let's do this. Felix uses USDC, a regulated digital currency, to reduce the cost of transferring customer funds to the United States and Mexico. This not only decreases the remittance fees for Felix's customer, but also expands the company's profit margin. That's good. That's building back from the consumer. That is a good thing. 40% decrease in rate Felix could offer users while increasing profitability. Well, now you're sitting here like, well, wait a minute. I still don't understand how does this involve Stellar? In 2022, remittance flows into Latin America and the Caribbean increased by 11%, reaching $145 billion. Even with the growing demand across border payments, the process of sending money is inefficient and costly. Does that sound like someone that could help us that? Yeah, that would be Stellar. They chose Stellar USDC to make this happen. Now, what's interesting about this is we've seen plenty of partnerships with Stellar and remittances, especially between the United States and Mexico. Felix chose USDC instead of traditional banking transfers to send dollars to Mexico pesos for 3 reasons. USDC settles near instantly on nights and weekends, reducing the pre-funding. Felix also can lower the transaction fee, and they were also able to increase their profitability. Felix set up their transfer system using Circle Mint, Stellar as their blockchain partner, and Bitso as their exchange for converting USDC into Mexican pesos. So they chose Stellar. Now, did this affect price action? Well, we'll get into that soon. But first, Fear and Greed Index points to extreme greed as BTC hits 60,000 in meme source. Dude, meme is rocking. Look at PayPay, 32. All right? Dog with Hat, up 37%. Bonk was up freakishly high as well. I mean, things are moving. What about SHIB? SHIB and Doge were moving when I did the video yesterday too. So stuff is moving in the market. I have the Fear and Greed Index right here for you, okay? And what I want to show you is this. It's this chart right here. You can see how high the Fear and Greed Index right now. We are in extreme greed. In fact, over the last year, we have not seen this much market greed yet. In fact, when we zoom out over the month, you can see it has built up along with the price of BTC. Now, every time we've hit these big 80% marks for Fear and Greed Index, or 80-point marks if you'd like to call it that, the market has corrected heavily. So now what you're going to ask yourself is, well, wait a minute. Did this announcement with Circle and Felix using Stellar help XLM price? No. No, it did not. This actually had zero movement of XLM price. Is this bullish for Stellar as a chain? For Stellar development as a company? Yes. Native token holders, we zoom out and we're like, I don't know, because we saw, like, this here is from the 1st of March. This story just came out. So no, the price action that you're seeing is not from this. The price action that you're seeing from here is the pull up in the market that I've been sharing with you in the last few days. Now, what's important about this is when we go to the 15-minute chart here, you can see that XLM struggles to hold that 13.5. And we need to hold that 13.5. In fact, while I was sleeping, we were about to hit 14, got rejected, pushed back down, we've been north. Can we hold 13.5 or are we going to push back down even lower? Now, is Circle stuff with USDC and Felix going to help the price? No, I mean, it's settlement in USDC. And okay, yeah, they use XLM for gas fees, but you know how cheap it is to move money on Stellar Chain. So it's not like we're going to be burning lots of gas, lots of XLM to make the price go up. So is this good for XLM native token holders? Obviously not now. In the future, I don't know. Come on now. Come on now. Has any program using USDC really helped out XLM? And oh my gosh, I want to read the comments even more about, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. Bro, you're stupid. Bro, gal, because 7.8% of you are gals out there. What news with USDC has really propelled XLM price? Remember the whole MoneyGram USDC thing? And everyone's like, oh my God, this is bullish. We're going to the moon. We're a couple years into that, and it's not even a blip on the radar. In fact, when you look at like the transactional effect on the Stellar chain, like none. So I get it. Like this is really good for Stellar as a company. This is really good for Stellar as a chain, Stellar Development Company, Development Foundation as a company. Jeez, I said that kind of wrong. Stellar as a chain is good. But for XLM holders, I mean, unless we're using like XLM for stuff other than gas fees, honestly, this just sounds like another big nothing burger that has no effect on the price whatsoever. Good development-wise? Yeah. Price-wise, not so good? You know what I'm saying, right? Now, I get it. Some of you out there are going to be like, bro, but in the future... How long are you going to say that? You've been saying it with MoneyGram. You've been saying it with USDC. And what has it done for the price? Bonk, PayPay, Dog with Hat are all fucking moving hardcore. No utility, just meme. XLM gets some utility news, via the Stellar chain. Doesn't move price at all. So am I the low oxygen starved one? Or the maxis, the low oxygen starved one? I'll catch y'all later because I got to trade because I am 1 day, 6 weeks out from last man standing, which is going to be an event on how much pain I can tolerate. I'm going to find my limit or I'm going to find someone else's.